What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, and I'm back with another new-ish video. It is Stick Up today from Heart Attack Man from their new album, name of which is Freak of Nature. So I've done one song from this album already. I really like it so far. I've been listening to it a lot. So I do know this song, but I haven't seen the video yet. So just, I'm not going in quite as, blind as I usually do. But like I said, I haven't seen the video. Before I get into it, a couple things. I do have my coffee, as always. I'll be going out of town this weekend, so there may not be any videos for the next day or two. But, you know, I think you guys will live. I'm not a professional. Please don't expect me to approach this the way a professional might. I approach this like an enthusiast, all right? And don't be a dick. That's kind of my main thing. You may not like the way I review stuff. You may not like the song. It's all right. But I ask that people be thoughtful with their comments. It's a better way to run things. And with that out of the way, let's get right into it. This is Stick Up by Heart Attack Man.
Everybody get down, and no one gets hurt. Everybody get down, I got a gun inside my sweatshirt. Dog eat dog, this world's a nightmare. I'm done trying to fight fair. Everything's in front of me, sitting right there. Spend my whole life so complacent. I'm done playing games and I'm running out of patience. Everybody get down, and no one gets hurt. Everybody get down, I got a gun inside my sweatshirt. Everybody get down, and no one gets hurt. Everybody get down, I got a gun inside my sweatshirt. Everyone is so indifferent. It's like they're preconditioned. They talk your fucking ear off, but never listen. Playing through my mind 100 times, flashing right before my eyes. You couldn't stop me if you tried. Everybody get down, and no one gets hurt. Everybody get down, I got a gun inside my sweatshirt. Everybody get down, and no one gets hurt. Everybody get down, I got a gun inside my sweatshirt. This is a stick up. Put the money in the bag. Put the money in the bag. This is a stick up. Put the money in the bag. Put the money in the bag. Put the money in the bag. This is a stick up. Put the money in the bag. Put the money in the bag. Everybody get down, and no one gets hurt. Everybody get down. I got a gun inside my sweatshirt. Everybody get down, and no one gets hurt. Everybody get down. I got a gun inside my sweatshirt.
I really like that one. I really like that song a lot, actually. It's super, super catchy. The lyrics are, it's interesting, right? Because the lyrics are a little bit, aggressive is, yeah, it's like aggressive / sort of dark lyrics, delivered with a smile, which is a really interesting approach, and I really like it. I think it's really effective, and more people ought to do it, because there's this, you know, I'm not a big horror movie fan. I've never seen it. This will hopefully make sense. But there is this there's this impulse in music, particularly in like alternative music. When you're writing lyrics that are aggressive or unpleasant or dark, right? You gotta make the music fit the lyrics, and so you get a lot of a good example of bands that lean into that kind of thing would be like, I don't know, Ice Peak, or who else? I mean, like AFI, right? Specifically with December Underground, right? You've got dark music to match the dark lyrics. What is more interesting to me, and I think is more impactful, is taking upbeat music and putting dark lyrics to it. I'm starting to feel like I'm wandering on this review. I usually feel pretty confident in what I'm saying, and I do still feel like what I'm saying makes sense, but this if I was somebody with pretensions, I would delete this and re-upload. Anyway, the thing about it, right? It is a clown. And clowns are generally associated with fun and children. Now, in a lot of people's heads, they're not associated with fun, because a lot of people are really scared of clowns. But it is that, it is the jarring nature of this thing that is meant to be playful and fun and for children, but actually could be covering up something very, very sinister. I think that that's really something that more artists should get into. Now, the problem, of course, is you do run into misinterpretation. A really good example of that is like Born in the USA, right? Born in the USA is kind of a triumphant sounding song. Really upbeat, good rock and roll song. Kind of sounds like an anthem. But it's not. It's a protest song, right? It's very much anti-war, anti-Vietnam specifically. But because of the way it sounds, and because of the title, Born in the USA, people tend to think of it as sort of a flag-humping type song. And I think that you do run that risk. But to me, I think it's so much more interesting when you get these sort of, sinister lyrics that are a little bit more out of the mainstream, or less socially acceptable or whatever. We're talking about a stick up, right? We're talking about robbing a, convenience store, bank, something. The first time I heard the song, I thought it was going to be in very poor taste. I'm glad that it wasn't. But yeah, I really think that it's effective. And the video itself is really entertaining. I really enjoyed the video. They all seem to be having a good time. They seem to be having fun together. I'm going to probably have to get one of those beanies or the sweatshirt. I'm not sure. But yeah, I really like Heart Attack Man. They do remind me a lot, and I said this in my last video, at least on this album. They remind me a lot of like early Simple Plan, Sum 41, Blink-182, some of those like late 90s, early 2000s pop punk alternative bands, which is a compliment. I don't know, what type of sound they're going for. I don't know who they were inspired by. I don't know who they would, they might want to say, we are our own thing. We don't want to be compared to anybody else. And that's fair. But what I like about them is the same thing that I like about bands like Sum 41, Blink-182. They don't have a number in their name, right? So, maybe they could get on that. But it's that tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic, upbeat music, sort of antagonistic lyrics, sense of humor. And I think that there is a little bit too much grim, dark seriousness. And I was guilty of this when I was younger and less mentally stable. You know, I only wanted, all black everything, right? I only wanted dark lyrics, dark music, heavy, unpleasant. I mean, it was pleasant for me, right? But the sort of stuff that a lot of people would like, man, I don't know why you listen to that. But there was always a place for Blink-182 and Sum 41. And hopefully these guys are going to be able to occupy some of that same territory. Like, the thing about Blink-182 is Blink-182 became huge for a band that was so juvenile and so non-radio friendly in their early eras. Right? They became legitimately huge, not just like big for an alternative band, but like culturally significant as a band. And that is hard to do as an alternative punk, post-punk, pop-punk, whatever. It's hard to do, to break into the mainstream like that. And who knows? Maybe Heart Attack Man. I think the last band to do that from this sort of world, maybe. Man, I'm trying to think, because I don't want to. People will come after me if I'm wrong. But like, A Day to Remember was kind of like that. They got pretty huge in the mainstream. I'm trying to think who else in the last, like, the projects of Tom and Travis, right? Some 40 plus 44, and they didn't get that big, but like Angels on Airwaves got pretty big. None of this is very important. I'm just musing at this point. But it's just nice to me to see sort of this return to a little bit more of the playful but still serious, right? Playful in the way you comport yourself, in the way you make music and videos and all that stuff, but lyrics that are still about stuff, right? As opposed to just nonsense. It's kind of tough to walk that line, but I really like what Heart Attack Man is doing. I think I'll end it here. This has been one of my more spaced out videos. I don't know that I feel super strongly about it, but listen, this is what I do. This is how I do it, and this is honesty, right? I'm not making edits to make myself look better or smarter in the moment. This is coming up off the top of my head as I'm thinking it. So hopefully somebody got something out of this. For those of you that stuck around, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Drink lots of water. Stay safe out there. Have a nice day. And don't talk to cops.